morning, everyone. This is Lisa, your favorite spoon bunny, and welcome back to the Life Spoontastic. Today, I'm going to be referring to a few notes from time to time, and so if you will forgive me, I do apologize for that, but Foggy has decided to visit me, and she is a lovely creature to be hanging around, but she does interfere with my memory quite a bit. And so, again, I'll ask you to forgive me if I refer to some notes from time to time. But today I'll be talking about diagnosed, now what? And I'll be speaking from the standpoint of suspecting or being diagnosed with CRPS, but this does apply to anyone who's suffering from daily pain and illness, whether it's been officially diagnosed yet or not. And so, no matter what the illness might be, no matter what illness you might suspect, or whether your doctor has officially stamped his forms, or he's written his notes down in your file and given you your official diagnosis yet, this information may help you in, determining your next steps in learning to live with your new normal. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is get your hands on some informational packets, some brochures that detail what your illness is like. And diagnosed or not, it may help you to begin understanding what your symptoms are going to be like, what you can expect from your illness, and what you can expect in terms of the treatments that are involved in that. And for minors, you want to get your hands on a pediatric informational packet. Because as always, you know, treating a pediatric case is going to be different from treating adults. And again, that's going to help you help your child learn to cope with the symptoms and the expectations of what everyone's going to be dealing with in the future from this point on. You're going to want to contact a reputable organization such as rsdsa, and that's just for CRPS. For fibromyalgia or for MS, you know, you're going to want to contact a reputable organization for your particular illness. For a list of doctors in your state that treat your particular illness. The organizations are going to have lists of really great doctors that specialize in the illness that you have been diagnosed with. You're going to want to read up on specifically how your illness is diagnosed, the testing that you're going to be going through, whether that includes EMGs, which are also called nerve studies, MRIs, laboratory testing and diagnostics, clinical examinations, CT scans, all of that, you know, kind of stuff, you know, endoscopies when it comes to GI issues, any type of testing that's going to be involved in your process. You're going to want to find out about that. Okay. You're going to want to find out which medications are most commonly used to treat your illness. You're going to want to read brochures that list the diagnostic criteria for your illness and an overview of treatments. Okay. Every illness has a list of diagnostic criteria that determines, okay, you've got a list of tests that you have to go through, but then you also have a list of diagnostic criteria that determines, okay, this is what result is needed to determine whether or not you have this illness. You know, this is the standard that determines, okay, well, you've got this result, this number determines whether or not you have this illness. Okay? You want to review evidence-based treatment guidelines. And again, organizations such as rsdsa, they'll have that information for you. Okay? Get your hands on as many legitimate and helpful informational articles as you can, and read up. The more informed you are, the better equipped you're going to be to act as your own advocate. And the stronger you are, the more informed you are, the more capable you're going to be, and the less, how can I say this? The less likely it's going to be that, you know, your doctors are going to be able to dismiss any concerns that you might have or any questions that you might have. It's been my experience that if you don't have all the information, your doctors can, you know, just sort of be dismissive. I've actually had to fire my primary care doctor because she was very dismissive of some of my concerns. And it turned out that, you know, because she was so dismissive and I chose to ignore her, when I went to another doctor to continue to fight for finding out what was really the cause of a problem, it turned out that, you know, what really was the problem could have killed me. And so yeah, she ended up being fired pretty darn quickly there. So that's a good object lesson in learning, you know, the doctor's not always right. In some cases, you know, you have to keep pushing for understanding what the where the real problem lies. Because if a doctor is wrong and you continue to trust them and you're not as well informed as you should be, then, you know, doctors can be responsible for costing someone their life. And they don't realize it. And if you aren't properly informed, you don't realize it either until it's too late. So that's a pretty good object lesson in that case. And I'm really glad that, you know, I continued to push for the proper answer, because I ended up having a really off the wall problem that was very rare, and it just didn't compute. But as it turned out, you know, it could happen, and it just turned out that my body is sort of weird, and my body did a thing that was totally unexpected, and because, you know, it totally wasn't expected, it could have killed me. But, you know, the doctor that I fired just was completely misinformed, and I'm just glad I didn't listen to her. Okay? So, the doctor is not always right. Good object lesson to learn there. And the last thing you can do, once you've been diagnosed, is, you know, sign up to become a part of a community. A community of supportive people, whether they have your illness or not. And I've said it before, the Unchargeables is a support group on Facebook that is just so wonderful. And they've been so helpful to me over the last 5.5 years. Not everyone on that support group has my illness, but, you know, I've learned so much from them, and they've been such a help to me, and they've been so supportive to me in my journey. You know, you don't have to be part of a support group of everybody, you know, where everybody has your illness, but join some sort of community that is willing to help you and be supportive of you. Because if you are alone in your journey, chronic illness is a lonely road to begin with, because if you have an orphan illness like CRPS, you know, you feel alone to begin with, and you don't always understand what's happening to you, and feeling like you're alone makes it even worse. So I encourage you to sign up for a community of like-minded people, and the like-minded people are going to be others with chronic illnesses, whether they are the same illnesses as yours or not. It can be immensely helpful to you to be a part of something bigger than yourself. And so those are the sort of steps that I want to leave you with that can be helpful to you in your journey. I know that I sort of wish someone had been there to guide me in the early days of my own journey, when I didn't have a single clue as to what was going to happen, and when I was just so angry and so depressed over what I'd lost and what my life was going to look like from that point on, and how limited I was going to be, because I faced so many limitations that were being forced upon me by my body, and I despised it. I hated it. I didn't want any part of it, and it depressed me, being forced to rest, you know, because when you reach a certain point, your body will force you to rest. If you choose to push and push and push and push, your body will just shut down and make you stop. It'll make you stop. So, you know, if somebody had been there to guide me, I would have been so much the more grateful. And so I hope that, you know, these videos will help you on some level. Even if it's just some sort of little bit. Okay? So until next time, my friends, this is the Spoon Bunny signing off. May your spoons be plenty and your troubles be few. Have a great day.